Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a 3v3 fighting game that came out in February 2011 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It pitted Marvel superheroes against the likes of Capcom characters, like Ryu from Street Fighter, and Chun-Li from Street Fighter, and Akuma from Street Fighter, and this disgusting monster. It was a variable who's who and wait, who's that of Marvel Comics and Capcom properties alike. To promote this game, Capcom released a series of videos that acted as the opening of the game. They were awesome. Seriously, you should check them out if you haven't already. They're honestly my favorite thing to come out of this game. My favorite Captain America thing ever comes from these videos. But one of these videos was unlike the others. Where the others were chaotic and action-heavy, this one almost had a resemblance of a storyline. In this video, Wesker is moments away from getting the T-Virus, when all of a sudden, the metal case it's in starts to break open, and it's revealed that this is Magneto's doing, in an attempt to steal the T-Virus for himself. The two are stopped by the team of Arthur, X-23, and the Incredible Hulk, led by Claire Redfield's less attractive older brother. They all end up fighting, but at the end of the video, something happens that I've never quite stopped thinking about. Magneto gets the T-Virus. For the uninitiated, the T-Virus is the virus from Resident Evil. It's a mutagenic virus, meaning it attacks the victim's genetics and mutates them, turning them into, you guessed it, zombies. Among other things, but mostly zombies. I've always thought that this was a missed opportunity to have it be Dr. Doom in that scene, especially since he's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Magneto is, for lack of a better term, a world figure. He, in his own eyes, is the leader of a civilization, a group of people that have for his entire life been outcast in one way or another. I'm talking, of course, about the X-Men. I feel like if he were to acquire the T-Virus, he wouldn't use it for evil. I feel like he would understand and realize the destructive potential of the T-Virus and choose not to use it for its intended purpose, aka a bioweapon. You have to take into consideration the fact that the T-Virus would probably affect mutants as well as humans. If mutants were unaffected by the T-Virus, then no question, without a doubt, he would use the T-Virus for evil. Imagine a world where most humans are dead or suffering, and the X-Men are thriving. But for the sake of conversation, I'm going to assume that mutants and humans are affected by the T-Virus. Dr. Doom, on the other hand, is as evil as Marvel supervillains get. And don't get me wrong, Magneto is evil too, and they share a lot of similarities other than being evil. For one, they're both leaders. Magneto leads the Brotherhood of Mutants, and Dr. Doom leads the country of Latveria. They're also both megalomaniacs. But the one difference that sets Dr. Doom apart from Magneto is narcissism. Magneto cares. He cares about not just the Brotherhood, but all mutants. If mutant kind were to take a big hit, like, say, a massive outbreak, he would feel sorry for them, maybe even blame himself, regardless of alignment. And that's the truth. Dr. Doom wants one thing, the one thing he's always wanted, and that's power. He wants to rule the world, but he wants to do so with an iron fist. And what better way to do that than with a genetically altering bioweapon, one that could quite literally take over the world. You see, Dr. Doom doesn't care about humankind. He only cares about himself and the inhabitants of Latveria. And even that's a loose thread. Dr. Doom has never outright committed genocide, but he'd do so with no remorse in his own country if it meant his own survival. And what better way to commit genocide than with an honest-to-goodness zombie apocalypse? So when we're talking about what Magneto would do with the T-Virus versus what Dr. Doom would do with it, I think it's a simple answer. I think Magneto would sit on it for a while, do some research on it, maybe even contact Wesker, the man he originally stole the T-Virus from, and pick his brain about how it works and what it could be used for. When ultimately coming to the conclusion that releasing it would be bad for humans and mutants, he would hide it away somewhere. I don't think he would outright destroy it, necessarily. Dr. Doom, however, would probably build some sort of T-Virus immunity dome over Latveria, release the T-Virus on a global scale, watch the world descend into chaos as it collapsed in on itself, and rule over the survivors, his survivors, in a perfectly clean, utopian Latveria. In conclusion, Hitler allegory.
I wanna take you for a ride. I wanna take you for a ride. I wanna take you for
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is here. I'm gonna take you on a wild ride.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is here. I'm gonna take you on a wild ride.